Okay, I think the live stream is up. I think oldtuberadio.net is up, and 27085 sounds unusually quiet in the fact that we don't have any skips. So let's commence to begin on what is known as the Old Tube Radio Network.
Find us on your TV, because in case you did not know, we're being brought to you by
OTR.
Brought to you by
27.085 megahertz.
Brought to you by RADI.
The Old Tube Radio Network.
The Old Tube Radio Network. I think the audio is working fine. The video tonight looks a little dingy. We'll have to work on that. I've got a lot of bright lights coming in through the back. And I'm on the official summertime OTR net control T-shirt here. So all this white is changing the colors around, but we will fix that. The main thing is that your radios will be beaconing through tonight, and that will be a good thing. What we will get started with the SWL roll call here in just moments. And it's a warm day. I don't know what the high temperature is. It probably happened about an hour or two ago. I'm sure it was in the 100, 102, 103 range. Maybe more than that. Looks like 85 degrees here in the control room. I think I can handle that. So we will start up with your Old Tube Radio Network. And it's the 35th year at least on the air here at 27085. That's Channel 11 in the Central Valley of California, where a group of like-minded radio operators, probably a lot like you, you're watching or listening, get on the air on Saturday evenings to recreate the sound of when these tube radios were new, and also just to get a chance to get on the air and key things up and say hello, and that's what we'll be doing here on the Old Tube Radio Network tonight. My name is Dennis, your net controller, one of the many that has been in the air chair here throughout the years of the Old Tube Radio Network. I will be here tonight taking check-ins and listening for the Old Tube radios tonight. Let's get started with the SWLs, and we are looking for our current SWL 0. All right, 44 is out there. I know it is a busy weekend. It is field day, such that it is. There are different ways they're doing field day, but I tuned in 40 and 20 meters, and certainly seems like everybody is out there trying to get some points for their respective club or who's ever doing it. Ray, you sound good, and we've got you checked in. Then we will go through SWL number 1, who always seems to manage to get a check-in, whether I'm ready or not. And then SWL 2, likewise, Mr. OBP checking in and listening in on the video feed. There's a video feed at YouTube, which you can click on the link. I think that's over at oldtuberadio.net. There's an audio stream at oldtuberadio.net as well. And, of course, the best place to be on your Saturday night radio is, of course, at 27085 Channel 11 right here in the Central Valley. So Kevin is checked in. SWL3, I've got a proxy for Rob, who I think they're getting set up for the Clovis Amateur Radio Pioneers, the CARP Fireworks Stand, which is a big fundraiser for the Clovis Amateur Radio Pioneers. So he's probably out there getting that set up today. I'm not sure exactly when they can officially open up for sales, but if you want to support a good cause, that would be a good place to get your safe and sane fireworks here in the Central Valley. Looking for SWL4. SWL5. SWL6.
Dennis, there's someone out there hollering hello.
Well, hello radio from the Old Tube Radio Network. SWL7.
SWL7 checking in.
And thank you, SWL7. Put an X in the square. My video screen. There we go. I just didn't have the right thing pulled up. Now I'm there. 7 is checking in and sounding good. If you're in the Radio Shack tonight, we will get you on our old tube radio list, no doubt. Over to SWL 13. And I guess I should check all the screens and see who is out there listening tonight. You can leave a check-in on the comments. If you can get on the comments at oldtuberadio.net, I will eventually see it, or maybe over on the live stream as well. SWL 14. SWL 15. SWL 16. SWL 17.
17 checking in. Good evening, everybody.
All right, 17 is, I was looking for your text, and there you are, live and direct, over.
Yes, I am live, up and running.
That sounds good. Well, you've got a decent signal. You know, if I got to get the S meters turned back on here. But you're well above S9 in the Old Tube Radio Network radio room. Good to hear you on air.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everybody.
All right, and thanks for checking in. The Old Tube Radio Network. This is the edition of 6/27/2020. And the camera's getting worse and worse, but the audio I hope sounds okay. Let's try SWL 18. SWL 19. SWL 20.
And number 20 here. Please check in 29 and 54, and if I could stand the heat out here, I'll be back.
Yeah, it is a little warm today, so hopefully you have a fan or something that will assist you into jumping into the radio room. So you're sounding good, and we got you checked in. Check back later, won't you?
You betcha. Check back later. We'll be up.
Okay, I have so many things that I have to click on that are open here. It is impeding my efforts to get everybody checked in. SWL 21. Mr. JT, host of the old radio night, which was on tonight. I have to look and see. I think he was on one of the Bearcat radios, and I don't know how he does it. He started a new Facebook page featuring the Bearcat radios, the Pierce Simpson radios, I should say. So if you're a fan of Pierce Simpson, you should check that out. And where is Mr. There he is. Hello, everyone. An OBP checking in, and then he's going to lay down and rest his back. It's sore from working on the car all day, and he did not wear his mask. I was working on a washing machine all day, but the washing machine is not quite as greasy as a car, and typically you don't have to set it up on a rack. So, Mr. 21, you're sounding in. Let me see. I'm keyed down here. If I can find the old radio night on my audio device. Let's see what was going on tonight. 21, you're sounding in. Let me see. Oh, you know what? I've got audio. Let me turn me down. But we do want to hear old radio night. I mean, it was on an Eagle. Did you have Skip again? How did you have Skip on?
I had 2 weeks. I didn't think it'd be as good. That was delicious.
All right, well, that's what happened on old radio night. It's usually quite busy. The radio of choice tonight, the Bearcat 23 from Pierce Simpson. looking mighty nice. Thank you, JT, for hosting that. From the Wasama Swamps of South Carolina, let's go over to SWL 22. SWL 23. SWL 24. Shortwave listener 25.
25 here, Dennis, checking in.
All right, you are sounding good. I hope that things are not melting over there tonight.
Actually, it's turned out to be an enjoyable evening, boy. It was a warm one this afternoon, though, but much better now.
Yeah, the sun will go down, and gosh, we'll get into temperatures at 98 degrees. Now, the thing is, the temperatures may be at 100 degrees, but the humidity is low here. So for those of you in areas where you might see 100-degree temperatures, but you won't see 20-degree humidity like we have here. So we don't have as much to complain about when it gets to be 100 degrees. Thanks for checking in. And then if I look at my list, we go over to SWL 27 on page 2. SWL 28. And that's Chrissy. I see Chrissy up on the big board there. Hello to you. Thanks for checking in. Neil's in. And Dave, yeah, you know what? The camera, I tried to fix it. It's because I have this white shirt on and I've got background. So when the sun goes down, hopefully things will look a little bit better on the screen tonight. But of course, this is about radio and audio, not so much on the TV side. So thanks, Dave, for that. And he is listening. He's like he switched his polarity to the horizontal position. Next, we are looking for SWL 29, and I've got a proxy check-in for Mr. Lohner. And I forgot to mention, Chrissy's in Idaho, by the way. We had some skip on Friday night, last night. Some stations checking in on the sideband net, but I haven't been listening for the beacons. I think everybody's out doing the field day thing. Let's try SWL 30. SWL 31. SWL 32. SWL 33, myself, Bozo Control. Where is Bozo Control? And the Jingle Singers, who we've heard. Not sure exactly what's going on over in the green room tonight. It looks real nice. They have been spending buku bucks fixing things up. Not like the trashy air chair room here. But we will eventually, I think, get a chance to fix that up. But mainly, as long as the radio is putting out RF, we should be good. Let's try SWL 34. SWL 35. Refresh my comments, see if Mr. Bill has made it in. SWL 36. Shortwave listener 37.
37 here, Dennis, and good evening.
And good evening to you. I don't know why the comments are taking so long to refresh tonight. This is the 8th week in our 8-week roster. Looks like you have been here all 8 weeks, so you'll be in the running for 00 next week. You are sounding good. Thanks for checking in.
You betcha, Dennis. I'll be back a little bit.
SWL 38. SWL 39. SWL 40.
SWL 40 checking in from Chinatown at 93 degrees.
That's actually on the cool side. Where do you have that thermometer?
It is outside, in fact.
Okay. Must be in the shade. I bet it's still in the upper 90s around here. But you are sounding good, no matter what temperature. Thanks for checking in.
Oh, and I do believe I saw 35 on the .net site.
Okay. I think I missed Mitch. I missed SWL23. He is out there. Let me go back to page 1. He mentioned that he was doing some field day stuff tonight. Get room in the overhead bin. There is a bit of clutter here. We do have expanded seating over in the green room. Also, Mitch sent a tune. He sent in some lyrics to a yet to be performed radio tune. So if we get, I don't know if we're set up for this. I'll put a note out to the jingle singers and over in the other room. If we get an MC4 or an MC5 checking in tonight, we might have to see if we can perform this special premiere special radio song for OTR. But I think that's we can only do if we get an MC4, MC5 checking in. Mitch, I got you checked in. Sorry, I skipped over 23. I was probably clicking on too many different Mises and Mooses. We've got radios coming up, so stay tuned for that. Over to SWL 41. That's Road Dog out of New York. He should be coming in there. Who is on tonight? We've got Anoka, Minnesota is listening in. That's Charlie, who might be giving some points out for field day tonight. Hello to New York, Somerville, South Carolina, Colorado listening in. Also Southern California, Central California, Garibaldi, that's British Columbia. Dallas, Georgia coming up to you. Hello to Charleston, South Carolina. The UK, somewhere near Charleston. Squamish, BC, that's Albert. And the gang out there waving a hand. South Carolina, that's Rodney is also checking in from there. Riverside, California, hello to you. Hopefully the air quality is good out there in Riverside. Hendersonville, Tennessee, there we go. Just jumping in. Up in the balcony tonight. I will get SWL 31 checked in tonight. Who else? Well, a host of others. Let's continue with the roll call. Looking for SWL 42. SWL 43. SWL 44 checked in as 00 and probably still out there. Yeah, all right. Think you can actually hear me tonight because there's no skip peeking in just yet. We'll see what happens when we go into gray line here in about 15 minutes. SWL 45.
45 checking in, Dennis. Sounding good.
All right. I've managed to not blow up the radio side just yet. Although we're teetering on the edge with just about everything. Sound good, Paul. Be looking forward to some radios if you got some time for the radio room tonight. And Paul usually does. He's got a lot of radios. He could keep us hopping and busy if we were a 24-hour venue with no problem. Let me say hello to some more people over on the video side. ED21 is there. We said hello to Warren. Out there in Foreland, Sierra Radio, out there in Rocky Mountain, Virginia. A pristine Pierce Simpson Guardian 23 to the shack. I do have a Guardian. No, I've got a Guardian 23. I did some net control on that. Nice radio. Got a great receiver. You got to get used to that little dinky S meter that's on that thing, but you can't go wrong with that. Check out JT's site if you're a Facebook kind of doer person. He's got a new Pierce Simpson Facebook site, which is pretty cool. Come up to Neil in Kakalaki. Also, Jimmy Fielder's out there tooting the horn. Coming down the track, saying hello to all the old tube radio operators and SWLs from the Windy City. Thank you, Jimmy. Dwayne Miller is saying hello from Sevenland in the Tater Patch. Is that 7? Is that RFI? Yeah, I've got Little Dinky. That's a great call if it is. RFI. And Sacramento, who is Gary out there in Sacramento, just thinking if we are pointing the beam, don't have a beam to point in the right direction. I heard a 10-meter beacon from Merced, which is really not, I mean, this was a low-power, low antenna beacon from Merced, and this is in the early morning hours, like 5 a.m. when the sun is just coming up, and then it goes away. So the ground wave really does good in the morning, but Merced is a far cry from Sacramento. Sacramento, we're going to need some ducting or some backscatter. Looking for SWL 46. SWL 47.
Good evening from the Radio Lounge, SWL 47.
The Radio Lounge barbecue might be fired up. The pool is probably going, and the radio is on. It's a good Saturday evening over there. Thanks for checking in.
My pleasure, and as always, you're right. I'm hopping in the pool right now.
A good thing to do. I'm going to look and listen to my S meter here. I'm okay. I was going to crank down back up the RF gain a little bit so the noise isn't too loud, but I think I will keep it where it is. 47 is checked in. SWL 48. SWL 49. Brian could be out there giving some points in the field day contest tonight. SWL 50. SWL 51.
SWL 51 checking in.
Hey, you can hear me tonight? I can hear you just fine, and we've got you checked in over.
Yeah, I have a high noise floor, but I can still make you out, so it's a little bit better tonight, but it's always got a problem getting you in the afternoon and the evening time, so, but it is what it is. Anyways, have a good evening, then.
All right, have to go scouring the neighborhood with the AM radio, see if you can find the, the doorbell, the doorbell transformers, the aquarium fish pump heaters, and I guess a new thing now is LED street lights and solar panels. So it is a nasty RF world out there. Let's try SWL 50. And there is Robert Teresa just showing up on my list here. Lost in the African dust storm. I don't know, is it going to be coming here on the West Coast? I've not been following that. I've not been following what's supposed to be happening. So if it's moving its way across, it'll be here most likely. Okay, and there is where is it? It's right over there. Right up there, the SWL 31 up on the screen. Let's try SWL 52 again. SWL 53.
Hello, Dennis. 53 checking in.
53 checking in. Mr. Belair. Hi, Bob. We've got you checked in. Looking good on the Old Tube Radio Network tonight.
Thank you very much.
Over to page 3 for SWL 54. 54 with the Cosmic check-in. He's in a spot where the weather is always good, I bet. SWL 55.
55 checking in.
55 M&M beaconing down here in the Midtown Fresno quite nicely. Got you checked in, sir.
Thank you, Dennis. Stay out of the heat.
Well, got a roof over my head. We've got some type of lukewarm air wafting out of the vent way over there. And the jingle singers and everybody in Greenwood's having the better time tonight. That's where the air conditioning really works, as they make things nice. Over to SWL 56.
Good evening, Dennis and the net. 56, just for kicks.
Well, we've all been taking some kicks here lately, so go easy. Go easy on the kicks. But glad you're out there. We got you checked in. SWL 57. Brown Dog Audio on my screen, on time and on frequency, exactly. On the OTR digital frequency. Worldwide Sidebender 1942, Central Kentucky. What is going on in Kentucky tonight? From the campfire. In Wapakoneta? No. Wapakoneta. Okay, I added another syllable I didn't need there. On vacation this weekend. Well, I hope you are doing the popcorn or the marshmallows. We used to do. You get that Jiffy Pop, put it in the campfire. The only thing is, it's got the aluminum handle. You got to be careful because you burn yourself. Then you got to make sure you dispose of it properly so that the bears and the raccoons and everything else don't come by later on looking for that popcorn. Have fun at the campfire, and I'm amazed you can actually hear me out there around the campfire in the Wapakoneta. All right, I will stop saying that. I will stop mispronouncing that name. SWL 58.
Good evening, everyone. In the spirit of field day, we're going to be checking in QRP tonight, so we hope we're making it over.
Yeah, you are making it through QRP. I did not bring up the list because you have to assign SJV and your operating position, how many people you have and the power you have, and et cetera, et cetera. So there are some letters and things for that. I was going to actually look at that and have that list up here so I could refer to it, but I ran out of time and I don't have any place left on the screen. So continue on with Field Day. I've got you a copy. I guess you're my number one in SJV or at OTR.
Hey, sounds great. One echo. Sierra Juliet Victor. Have a great night, Dennis. Very
All right, Field Day. Always a fun thing to do, whether you are given points or out there like Brown Dog at the remote site running battery power or QRP or whatever you're doing. That's the whole deal with the Field Day for emergency preparedness and things of that nature. Ham radio ops are good at that. When the internet goes down, you'll be counting on them. You'll be counting on us to do the work. Let's go over to SWL 59. SWL 60.
Thanks, Dennis, and evening time to the fellows out there. Let's get this base checked in. Big Jake's base, the Galaxy DX2527.
We've got the microphonium and the audio set perfectly tonight. Sounds like you are right here in the studios of the old Tube Radio Network. So we will get 60 checked in, and I'll put another mark where it says 2901 DX2527. Thanks. SWL 61.
61, checking in, Dennis.
SWL 61, Copenhagen Kid Dean, a guy that knows how to keep his cool no matter where he is at. It takes practice, and you are sounding good on the old Tube Radio Network tonight. Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
SWL 62.
Evening time, OTR. How you doing there, Dennis? It's 62 checking in.
I'm doing well. If you're tuned into the video, I look a little bit green, but I think that's the camera because I don't feel that. I don't feel that way. Rex, Lucky Lindy is in beautiful downtown Clovis, where the Chamber of Commerce never allows the temperature to go above 99 degrees. So it's always a happy place. We've got you checked in. SWL 63. That's Bubba and all the gang from New York. We will get you checked in. And speaking of New York, there's Smarty right on cue, saying hello, radio. Also, Dwayne is listening in from New York, where it is late. It is it Sunday there yet? 4 hours? 3 hours? Actually, it's coming up. It's late, but they're tuning in. Also, Brian, the mighty KUH, is also listening in. And hello to you. Dwayne says it is indeed RFI, vanity call, which we did on purpose. I've had my call. I could have changed it to a vanity call. I'm still using my novice call, KB6, that I got in 1984. And I don't know why I haven't updated to something. And there's been some great opportunities, but I still have my actual novice call. So, see, all you smart guys snap up the good stuff, but that's okay. More power to you. Where are we going? Let's try SWL 64. SWL 65.
SWL 65 checking in.
Live and direct here on the Old Tube Radio Network, where I'm always hearing, I don't know if these headphones pick it up or not, I always hear a little bit of RF into my audio stream. But Eric, you sound great. And I should mention that we do archive the audio of the SWL check-ins in a separate chunk on the archive. Also, the video, we keep that part up and we put the S meter up. So if you want to give yourself a radio check, just check into one of those two spots. Thanks for checking in, Eric.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
SWL 66. SWL 67. I didn't scroll. Oops. My screen just went away. Whatever I did, it was a bad thing. I just did a very bad thing, and I lost my screen. Let's hit that. There we go. I was going to scroll up and see if I saw Oregon on tonight. Not yet, because that would be Bill. If you're watching, Bill, we'll get you proxy checked in anyway. I know you're out there somewhere. SWL 68. SWL 69. Kenny checked in. He just a couple days ago from Tulsa watching the video. So if you're out there, we will wave to you, Kenny. If you're watching the video, you are checked in here on Saturday night, 6/27/2020. SWL 70. SWL 71, who I bet is probably doing something for field day. Let's see if Stan jumped in. Mr. Microphone, yes, indeed. Checking in, working field day on SSB, FT8, FT4. I have no idea. I feel ashamed. I have no idea what FT4 is. I have never tried FT8. I've tried to tune it in. I can hear it. You know, you can hear it when you go down the frequencies, but so look for Stan on various frequencies on either SSB, FT8, or FT4. Probably FT8 is a great way to do field day and rack up a lot of points. All right, Stan, thanks for listening to the Old Tube Radio Network in one ear and doing the field day as well. Boy, I haven't really listened. Maybe I'll do that. It goes to all night and lasts until throughout Sunday morning, just a little bit. SWL 72. Here's a guy that is doing field day. I'm going to get him proxied in. John is usually, for our local club, the CW guy. So I don't know where he's CWing today, but John is out doing field day, so we'll get 73 checked in. And while we are here, let me also get SWL 41, Road Dog Audio 507. Got a lot of the East Coast listening in tonight, where there's always big signals. WWS 507 and AC 244. I'm AC 135. That's it. I think I'm 135. I always say I think what I think, and then I have to go and check. And I should have it written. I should have it posted here somewhere. But occasionally I will go to lower 16 when the band is open and see what I can find. Because usually isn't much. All right, 41, you're checked in. There's the There's a confirmation. SWL 74. We'll get Ms. Julie checked in over there at the Madera Heights Ranchos. SWL 75. SWL 77.
Well, good evening all, and 73s to all the listeners. Got a short story for you, Dennis and everybody. Just before 7 o'clock tonight, I was out here with Larry and had some antenna issues pop up. Jumped up there, dropped the old tower of power down all 80 feet, found the broken connection, put it back together, got her back up in the air, in the rain box, and back here in time for my call, and made check-in. How about that one?
And it's only 100 degrees. I don't know how you could do that in an all-day session. And I can tell you are putting yourself into the calm mode. You are taking whatever bit of energy is left to key up, but you sound good doing it. That is a feat in itself. Key up again. We'll make sure the signal is where it's supposed to be. Typically, it's around 20 over, I think. So come on back.
Yeah, and in true radio diehard fashion, I think I lost about 3 gallons of water and sweat up there, but got her down, laid over, repaired, and back up where she's supposed to be. There you go.
All right. Well, that's good. You actually Sherlocked that, knowing it was a connector. I mean, there's all sorts of stuff between your coil-cored microphonium and the very tip of the whatever it is you have up there. So it looks good. You're right there at 20 over where you should be. So as long as the tower is cinched, the tower of power is cinched up, you are good to go. So continue on with the refreshments. And my hat is off to you. I can't even get an antenna up, and it's been, he did it in 60 minutes. I've had 60 months, and I haven't been able to do it. Thanks.
Yeah, I had all the neighbors out there clapping, watching me just go, go, go. Okay, 73s, everyone. Thank you, Dennis.
All right, Mr. 1017. That is the kind of spirit we need here on the old Tube Radio Network. Let's see. Well, that's like he had his own field day. That's what you do on field day. You take all your equipment, you run out, you try and throw an antenna up into a tree and a wire, or raise up the portable mast or whatever. So perfect thing to do on field day. Even when you're not in field day. Let's try SWL 78. SWL 79. I'm going to get Philip checked in. He was in earlier. And SWL 80. All right, before I turn the page, let me see who else is around. Hello to our new stations. Centerville, Virginia, they came back in. Germantown, Wisconsin. Up in Blackburn, Jackson, Ohio. I wanted to say hello to, Tiger Cup. Says he's looking good. Even though I'm a little green, the video isn't quite where it should be tonight. I haven't figured out how white balance for the official, where it is, for the official Old Tube Radio shirt, staying a little bit cooler tonight here in the 85-degree weather. Also wanted to say hello to, let's see, Smarty Jones, we said hello to you as you checked in. Any others? Oh, I wanted the Bob and Steve show. Before we go over, and I pull my ears off with the headphones here, the Bob and Steve show. Does the new shirt look great? You know what I don't have? It's so official, it's not nerdy enough. I went to put on the pocket protector. I wanted to put on the pocket protector and it fell off, but I do have the pocket protector here tonight. So when we get back to wearing the seersucker suit, or maybe I could do something like that. But the pocket protector's here. We will not be without the Tube Radio pocket protector. checking on the fish. Snow White is due. Need more fish food. The aquarium is really nice. For those who check into the walk into the green room tonight, just don't tap on the glass. They put a sign that don't tap on the glass. They're going to be working all week. I may run over there tonight. It depends. I want to see what happens when the old Tube Radio Network is actually going on. So maybe they'll let me in. I think they keep the doors open. They have a little like a pass card key thing, like a hotel. But during the net, we usually keep it open. Continue on, page 4, and we have the glow-in-the-dark radios are coming up after the roll call here, so let me not delay as I look for... I know who SWL81 is. I just have to find the paper. So that'll be Mr. Unicorn, SWL81, Steve. SWL82. That is the ditch banks. Did Jeremy tell me to check in proxy? He probably did.
Yeah, proxy him.
Yeah, as usual, net control, not paying attention. Too many other things to do. All right, we got Ron. He sounded good. He was on the Friday night net, which is on channel 36 lower, the Ditchbanks SSB net. To check it out on Friday evenings at 8 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time on 36 lower. We did have some DX check-ins come through there. Everyone is welcome. We go to SWL 84. I've got a proxy check-in for the Cheerios Kid and all the gang there. SWL 85. Not sure how Reeveytown is doing tonight. We've got check-ins for SWL 86, 87, and 88.
Station.
And the station go.
Yeah, did Jerry 42 and the gang make it in tonight?
I did not hear them via the two-way. Over.
All right, let's proxy them in. He was going to try and get the station together and have it done by today. I was kind of hoping he'd make it, but maybe I'll hear him tomorrow. But yeah, let's go ahead and proxy them in.
Okay. Well, we're all inspired by your antenna prowess. Who else was on tonight? Eric, SWL 17, who's not been on the air for a while, got his station set up. So hopefully 42 and all them people, 90 and 137 will get on as well. We're getting them proxy checked in. So where was I? 86, 87, 88 to SWL 89. 90, we've got you proxied in, SWL 92. All right, I hope you can hear me in Madera Town, SWL 92. That is Chuck out of Madera. Also sounds good on the Wednesday night net and the Friday night net too when he checks in there. And here in Midtown as well. Thanks, Chuck. He might be doing some field day stuff. He's got his ticket, SWL 93.
SWL 93, checking in.
Louis, what brings you into the radio room tonight? You sound great.
Yeah, I got my radio up here finally. So, I'm checking in tonight. So, all right, we're clear.
All right, thanks, Louis. I appreciate the effort getting to the old Tube Radio Network tonight. We've got you checked in. SWL, I know this guy is here. Heard him on the pre-show, SWL 98.
Checking in, Dennis.
And sounded good. 544, Fresno Dave, checked in, thank you.
Thank you, Dennis.
SWL 103.
Yeah.
Is that Cheesy Easy over?
Yeah.
All right, sounding good. I was going to give you a Facebook check-in, but he is in the mobile, hopefully parked in the shade somewhere.
Yeah, always.
Okay. Good deal, Mr. 103. And it's Easy 103. Thank you for checking in.
No problem. Thank you.
Then we go over to SWL 109. I always hear 109. It's got a big signal up there in Auberry. How about SWL 110? And Glen Allen, Virginia, waving a hand. Hello, Wayne. Enjoying the program. We will have glow-in-the-dark radios coming up shortly, so you will be able to see less of me and hear more radios. That's why we are here. That's why we've been here for all this time, to talk about the radios. SWL 111. Looking to see if I see Robert. You know, I didn't scroll down far enough. Robert's my first check-in, SWL 111. I get Robert check-in, and I missed Bill checking in from Cheyenne. I think someone told me he was out there, and I did not scroll down far enough. So Reedley and Cheyenne, Wyoming, from the oldtuberadio.net page. Over to SWL 113. I need more eyes. That's what I need to do all this. And Robert said S5 to S7 noise. Not going to happen. All right. Well, hopefully, part of that's my fault for not getting my signal to noise, my signal to noise ratio up in the signal and less noise. Let's try SWL 114.
114 checking in.
114 checking in and checked in. Thank you, Wayne.
Also, SWL 145 want to ask you if the Echo Link is working tonight.
I do not have the Echo Link up tonight. I got in very late, so I'm actually fortunate just to have the radio working. So we will endeavor to reinitialize that here in the not too distant future, with plans to actually have it hooked into a local frequency so that people will be able to chat to people up on the digital Echo Link site. So that the long answer is, the short answer to my long answer is not tonight. Over.
Okay, not a problem, Dennis. I was just asked to ask you about it. Thank you for checking.
Okay, yeah, sometimes that's good, because sometimes I get something going and promote it, and I forget to do it. But it is, I am listening on the crossband, but the Echo Link takes yet another screen and some bandwidth, so I got to be careful when I do that. Thanks, Wayne.
Break OTR.
All right, 2 breaks for OTR, and I will get both of you. So one of them, go ahead, and I'll see who I can hear.
I heard 111 out there real weak. A lot of noise out there, but I heard him trying.
Okay, maybe that's what it was. There was thanks. There was another breaking station for OTR. Go ahead, over. Yeah, who was that? Over. Okay, yeah. There's Coarse Gold 195 making it through my noise. So I've got you, Jim. We're also listening in for Reedley as well. Any other breaking stations? We'll continue with the roll call here, but I want to make sure I haven't missed anybody. I'll continue on, and I'll give a spot here before we go to the radios for anyone to jump in. I had my pen setting on the next station to check in, and that's SWL 128, who I believe is there. Let me scroll back up on my screen as I checking in the wrong people here. 128. Thank you. Up there, right where it's supposed to be. It makes it easy for net control. I just have to look over the screen. John Lee up in Fairfax, Virginia. Not sure if he's doing any field day things this evening, today, tomorrow. Over to thanks, John, for checking in. SWL 131. SWL 133. Shortwave listener 135.
Proxy 135, please.
135 is proxied. And likewise, SWL 137. And also 145, Tony, I've got you checked in if you can hear me, over. Tony's listening in, and then over to SWL 147. I saw Neil right at the top of my other page, so let me find that other page and go way back. I'm sure I saw. Was that last week? See? Oh no, there he is. It was there last week too. Checking in. He missed last week. Heavy thunderstorms knocked out power and internet for most of the night. That was last week in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Hopefully things are better this week and we've got you checked in. And 195 is checked in from the big town of Corscoll, and that will take us over to SWL 226. And then any other check-ins I might have missed. OTR's listening.
49er.
Hey, couple in there. Let's get 49er. Let's get Smitty checked in. 49er computer man. And, of course, around the QTH somewhere, the sweet country mama.
Yeah, we missed roll call here a little bit outside working on the Oldsmobile. I've got that old Rocket 455 fired up, and can you believe it, after it's sitting in a virtual auto cocoon for over 8 years now, a little gasoline and the check of the fluids, and she fired right up and purred like a kitten. So was real happy to get her running tonight, but yep, checking in, and I've got sweet country mama waving as well. So thank you very much, Dennis. Hope all you guys are having a fantastic evening.
Yeah, sure. I think there was a second one that said they were working on automobiles tonight. I just had a washing machine that I had to do. And let's see, you've got the 455 engine in that?
Yes, I do. I believe that's the same thing you got in your Riviera, isn't it?
That is exactly the same thing I've got in my Riviera, and it has been sitting at least as long. So I don't know. I have the bad feelings that I have probably not stored mine as well as you have to get it to fire up. But you have given me a little bit of hope now.
Well, you know, that's old school American machinery for you. It's built to last, and it sure does.
Indeed. Well, I've been keeping air in the Michelins, but I bet those steel belted radials have got a little bit of a bump in them. All right. Well, that's good. Be looking forward to, and I've still got the antenna mount on the bumper on the Riviera, and the 2-meter 440 homebrew trunk lip on there as well. So it's ready for some DX.
That's awesome. Yeah, I hope to get this 70 Olds 98 on the road here pretty soon. Got a little front end work to do to it, but other than that, she's straight and good to go. Recently had the seats all reupholstered before I moved to Wisconsin. So, yep, she's been here in Fresno in storage, just waiting to get back on the road. So, hope to do that soon. Thank you, Dennis.
All right. We'll look forward to the report on that. And Brian brings up a good simile that the old Tube Radio Network is like the old cars. When we talk with the radios, the fins, and the chrome, and the American ingenuity and manufacturing, and the fact that they do need to be used every now and then, fired up, driven around the block, and that's what we will be doing in moments here on the Old Tube Radio Network. So if you've got one of your classic radios that maybe was in a classic car back during the day, put it on your antenna, warm it up, and we'll be talking with it right now. Any other stations wanting to check in before we switch over to the tubes?
And Brian deserves a data boy.
Yeah, the break OTR. Go ahead. Hey, and not too late to get the X in the square and the hello radio on the big screen, sounding good over.
Comment.
Okay, you are hearing correctly. Of course, you know the Saturday evening net, 8 o'clock, remember that time for Friday nights and take your AM selector switch, put it into the lower sideband mode, and truck on up to lower 36, 27,365, where Jeremy and the gang on the Ditch Banks sideband net do some good stuff on your sideband radio. Over.
Comment?
Yeah, do your sideband lower 36. Jeremy's got an awesome station. He hears everybody, and if he doesn't hear you, somebody else will. So that's Friday evenings, 8 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Anybody is welcome, near or far, on lower 36, and we'll pick up the comment, but make sure you got my comment, 43. All right, sounding good here in Midtown Fresno. And hello, comment. Go ahead.
Yeah, Dennis, you know, when Dennis was talking to you about being up there, climbing the thing, lowering his antenna and everything, and you were talking about don't know how he did it, I can answer that question honestly. He was a Marine. I take that back. He is a Marine. He'd been in the hot desert for a few years off and on, so that kind of backs him up on that.
Well, the thing is, you know, the little engine that could, I think I can. When you get that attitude where you know, I think I can, and then you have the smarts and the skills because not only have you think you can, you've actually done it before, and you gauge the situation, and you go for it, and it happens. So, yeah, like I said, he's an inspiration to all of us who are sitting with our beams and our towers and our rotors and our dipoles and doublets in the wrong position, thinking all we have to do is say, I think I can, and we've most of us has done it before. Make an intelligent choice is like now is a good time and get it done. So we will see. All right, I'm going to jump out of the chair. I've got to reset the stream, turn on some stuff, and we will get some tube radios going as it is 9 o'clock on the Pacific Coast, and it is Sunday for a lot of you who are listening in somewhere. So we'll be right back.
And failure is not an option.
That is very true spoken words.
Way to go, Chris.
Yeah, when I had my beam over there on Fountain, oh God, I can't think of the name of the street. Anyway, when I was over in the tower district, I had my tower up with my beam. I actually climbed my tower, lowered the boom down a little bit, pulled it off from the rotor, walked it down the tower by myself onto my roof, over to the edge of the roof with my ladder, which is a big, tall ladder, which is in a big angle, and walked off with my my beam in my arms down to the ground to do some work on it, and back up the same day.
In true die-hard radio style.
Yeah, that's been a while.
And you did rock me to sleep last night.
Yeah, I wonder what happened. You just kind of fell out.
I'll catch you on the other one later on this evening.
Okay.
Boy, that sent the scope through the roof.
You are listening to the Old Tube Radio Network.
You may not find us on your TV because occasion is not offering brought to you by
OTR.
brought to you by
27.085 megahertz.
brought to you by RADI.
The Old Tube Radio Network.
Yeah, still going strong. After all these years, the Old Tube Radio Network trying to keep it going tonight here on, June 27th of 2020, as we jump into at least 35 years of doing what we love to do best on a Saturday evening. That is talk about, check in, and look for those classic tube radios, and we will do just that. The sun has gone down. We managed to go past gray line here tonight without any E-skips coming in. We will see what happens. So I will say this is the Old Tube Radio Network, and we are listening for your radio check-ins.
Number 7.
25.
All right, I heard 3. We've got Ed, and then Paul, and then Jerry. Was there any other stations in that group? Over.
70 trying to check in. I can barely hear you, Dennis.
All right, 70, don't go away. And who was the other station?
60.
And a station up in Shaver. Did you need to check in a radio, or just saying hello to the group here tonight? Okay, Tom. Yeah, you're beaconing down the hill here. Okay, I'm going to get the 2 SWL check-ins. We'll get those going, then we'll pick up the radio. So we've got 113. That is Tom in a location that's a little different where he normally is. All right, Tom. Have a good evening up there. Hoping it's not too hot, and it sounds like everybody's having a good time.
Yeah, the high today was, I think, just almost 80. Almost 80, and now it's top of the way down. It's not too cool.
Wow, all right. That's definitely cooler than it is here in Midtown Fresno. All right, thanks for checking in and putting out the extra effort to get a signal down here into Midtown town. Tom up in the hills at a function there. Let's go down the hill just a little bit, but not too far for SWL 70. Get Mark checked in.
Hey, Dennis, just checking in if you can hear me. I got a lot of static. I got a lot of static coming in on when you're transmitting too, for whatever. Anyhow, late check-in, please.
Okay, not a problem. Got you checked in, and static is going around. They're making too much of it. We got you checked in, and I won't try and make you listen for me too much longer. Thanks. And in my list of radios, we'll be going to Ed, and then Radio 2 will be Paul, Radio 3 is Jerry, Radio 4 is Joe, SWL 60, and we'll do it that way. I also want to say hello to X4000, who is also checking in tonight as well. So it's about time on the Old Tube Radio Network we get to some radios. So let's do that right now. Hello, Mr. Ed.
And good evening to OTR and all the SWLs. This is Browning Golden Eagle R68 T68.
As Harvey would say, the Browning Golden Beagle. I think yours is a true Browning Golden Eagle, and it definitely has the Browning ping. You can have fun with that one. Give us a transmission. I will put up part of an advertisement from probably 1967, I would say, showing the Golden Eagle by Browning, 2-piece radio. This is displaying the external speaker as well.
mine is just like that one, although I do not have the external speaker. But anyway, yeah, it's a real nice radio. Harvey brought it back to life, so once again, got to thank Harvey for keeping the radios on the air.
Absolutely. You know, and if Harvey was working on it, you may have, although it might not be an official Browning Golden Beagle, you may have some official Browning Golden Beagle parts in it. So if it occasionally requires a scratch or a treat or a milk bone, you'll know why.
Well, there you go. And just like that one, this one has the stock banana microphone. Luckily, I picked it up there at Red Monkey one day when they had a little sale going on, and yeah, it works just great, and actually in very good condition. The bass isn't even messed up.
You got to love it when all the pieces and parts look good, and you love it even more when they sound good as yours does. The Browning Golden Eagle, the original Eagle, the original Golden Eagle, I should say, which consists of the R68 receiver and the T68 transmitter, produced after the Eagle R27 S23. This was from 1967 to somewhere in 1968. And the price was still reasonable, we think, at $468, which was, I don't even know what that is today, but thousands of dollars, no doubt. Back to you for transmission, and thanks for bringing it by.
Well, there you go. Yeah, on the bottom of the stand it says, Model 417 stand, Electro Voice Incorporated, Buchanan, Michigan, made in the U.S. of A.
You got to love it. It sounds good. Radio number 1 at 912, getting us started off, and thanks for that. What is that? Okay, that was somebody on the crossband, I think. Radio number 2, stepping up into the air chair, should be Paul, Mr. Falcon. Over.
Okay, I want to check in my general radio telephone master control.
Okay, I think we're going way back from 1967 to maybe 1959. I don't remember what the date on the master control is, but I will find it in the general radio telephone list, and we'll talk about it. Give us a transmission.
Okay, this is actually a general radio telephone master control MC-2. That was the second radio that they put in for manufacturing, was the MC2. They also put in the MC1, which I also have. This is one that belonged to the late Bob Miller and his great collection. So anyway, this is manufactured in 1959 it is. Not much they talk about, but back to you.
Got a great picture. It's a general radio telephone master control MC2 from the collection of Paul after cleaning. So this might actually be the one on which you were talking. I don't know how many you have, and indeed it is 1959. So the tail fins were quite large in the year 1959, and so were the radios. From General Radio Telephone, 7 tubes, has the same circuit as the MC3, but a different face. So it looks good. I was checking. This one does not have, they hadn't put in the Q-Bird yet, but it does have a switch that says 0 in this spot. So I'm not sure what all that is about. Maybe it's some type of a spotting switch or something. Back to you.
Okay, actually, we're part of this radio here. In the MC3 now, they put transmit relays and receive crystals in the thing. So this one has nothing. This has a VFO and that's it. And I'll tell you what, this took me more than an hour to get it. It was really slow. Interesting how the generator telephone, and of course the ones and twos were the same with that VFO on the thing with no crystals. Interesting how generator telephone works thing. Thanks, Dennis.
Sounding good in the nights. The 7 tubes are doing a good job. Let's see. the spot switch. That must be the 05 transmit crystals. A plug-in crystal socket between the volume control and the transmit crystal. You can see the cutout in the cabinet to put the crystal in there. It's got an S meter. And I was hoping to find a price on that, but I bet it was around $200. A lot of their early radios were right in that price range, and it was a good price range. They sold a lot of them. They master control from General Radio Telephone here on the Old Tube Radio Network, radio number 2. Thanks for bringing that by. And let's head over to radio number 3, and that will be SWL 25. Hello, radio.
Hello, Dennis. 25 checking in on a Holocrafter CB3A, Citizen's phone or little phone. Let's see what else. Oh, yeah, we've got the VFO and the meter, S meter on the front of the radio, which I guess were options. And, of course, the orange, kind of reddish-orange light on the lower left-hand corner of the face is illuminated and talking on a non-powered D104. Back to you.
Nice, clear audio. Yeah, I got to be careful with too much amplification on the Hallicrafters. They will flat top, but you are perfect with the audio there. I was going to ask you a question. The radio we're showing has channel A in the box, that you have a selection of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's an 8-channel radio. What letter is channel 11 on that thing?
It is C. C is in Charlie. Over.
I always ask that question on the Hallicrafters. I think somebody used to have it in channel E, and we always just say that is E for excellence. So you are on channel C, and that's C for something. The Old Tube Radio Network for sure. From Hallicrafters, not quite 1959, although Hallicrafters did make a radio in 1959 to compete with the Master Control. This was their offering for late 1962. I bet if you get some catalogs, some CB catalogs from December, November of 62, you will see this radio advertised, but it was a big seller in 1963 at $160 with its 7 tubes. Give us some more 7-tube audio there.
All righty, Dennis. Anyway, as always, thanks for checking it in. And somebody added an extra bank of tubes, exterior on the side. They did a really good job because it looks like it came with it, but I suspect they're receive tubes. They're on the receive type. But one of these days I'm going to have to take a picture and send it. But the receive on this radio is incredible. So anyway, hey, thanks again for checking it in, Dennis. Back to you.
All right. Yeah, that's interesting. Maybe it's got some type of a receive preamp built in, or what's the other thing it have? If it was a Q multiplier, you should have some controls on that. So interesting. That we'll have to take down the type of tubes, like 6AQ5 or something, and we might be able to scratch our heads, talk to Harvey and say, well, those tubes are generally used in this type of circuit. Might be able to pin down what they did. The radio sounding good for radio number 3, the Hallicrafters CB3A. Thanks for bringing it by on the Old Tube Radio Network.
Thanks, Dennis.
And we will head over to radio 4. But before and that is Joe, Mr. Hustler, stepping up in the air chair. I want to go over to the SWL side and make sure I get in lucky number 13. Michael Cobra is in. Saying he had a little problem on the Universal Media NetWeb, which happens to me all the time. So, Mike, I would say that hopefully they're not picking on you. It happens to me too. Let me get the right item up here, and you can see that, yes, 13 is checked in over on page 1. Looking good as I sift through my papers here. Dwayne out there, always a Browning fan. Well, Dwayne, we'll see how many Brownings we can get tonight. If you've been watching the video, you can see the doctor. The doctor attacked me here on Friday, so I have to keep my little Band-Aid on there. Who's coming up? Joe, hello, 60.
Hello, Dennis. Thank you for letting me check this one in. This is my handsome green machine. my Robin T123B with the little bitty mic.
Little bitty mic that makes for a big sound of audio. I don't know if you ever heard the archives, but you play well in them for sure. We'll put up the big screen, and we'll go back to you for transmission on the Green Robin.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Doggone, I just love the way this thing sounds. You come in, the tone of it is what I'm talking about. All the fellas sound so nice on this radio. And I've heard and seen one of these on YouTube where there's a guy that actually runs one of these that is real happy with it. Doggone it, we have a few extra channels on it, starting from channel 1, from 26 on to about channel 8. I think it's channel 8 or 9, 35. So we have a few extra channels on this one, and all the rest of it works fine.
I saw a post this week on Facebook where they were showing how to get some of the extra channels on that, where they put the switches in and the wires go to something and you flip it one way and you go here and go there. So it may not have all of them, but might come in handy. Of course, it has channel 11 without any extra stuff that you need to do, and that is a good thing for Saturday evenings. The audio is always good on that with the small microphonium. You've got the range boost on. At some point down the road, if you ever decide to try a different microphonium, we will be here to help you check it out. The Robin T123B, a good seller for Robin, one of the Panasonic chassis shared with other radio manufacturers from 1972 to 1976. The 11 tubes do a good job. Operator's manual and schematic available at oldtuberadio.com, and the audio available right here. Give us another transmission on Radio 4 before you go over.
I appreciate it, Dennis. And don't forget that pretty little green meter, but you're definitely in the red. So if you're looking at it, that's where you're at. Hey, okay, Dennis, thanks a whole bunch for letting me check this one in.
As they say, my pleasure. As we do have green radio fans listening in tonight, so you have made some of the digital SWLs happy out there for sure, I think. The Old Tube Radio Network, Real Radio's glowing in the dark. Let's go over to the Jingle Singers. I want to see if my scope is working tonight, so a good way to check them is with the Jingle Singers over in the green room.
How do you do, ladies and gentlemen? Greetings to you, wherever you are. For music and the latest news from home and from afar, the station for you is
OTR, Old Tube Radio.
The station for you is
OTR.
The Old Tube Radio Network is standing by looking for radio number 5.
Break OTR.
45.
And we've got a break OTR and 45. The break OTR, do you have a radio, Chris?
Yes, I do.
Okay, we'll put you down for radio 5. They'll be next, so step up in the air chair. And Paul, if you can hear me, you will be radio 6 in moments. So don't go away. The time is 9:24 at the Old Tube Radio Network. Pacific Daylight Time, I should add, and we are going to be chatting with radio number 5. I'm not quite sure what it is, but I have an idea. Hello, Chris.
I bet you're going to be right. This is SWL 37, Chris. We are going to check in on our general radio telephone, the Super MC11A, 24-channel tuber with the old man in a wheelchair up there with an IV sitting next to it, next to the dial there. And we are running this here with a non-amplified stock microphone. Over.
Great audio, as always, from beautiful downtown Burbank. I'm not sure what the old man in the wheelchair puts in his IV, but I think we could all use a little bit of that to make our radio sound as good as yours. Back to you for transmission.
94. Yeah, no, I don't, it's just OTR. That's all it is up there. That old man in the radio.
And the green dial with channel 11 nestled in properly.
Absolutely, with the Channel 11 in the black letters, over.
And always right on frequency, the General Radio Telephone Super MC11A. That is a 9-tube radio, believe it or not. The Robin was 11 tubes. Who knew you could take out 2 tubes and sound just as awesome?
I don't know, but it works. That's all that counts.
Especially on a Saturday evening. The Old Tube Radio Network. You're sounding good for radio number 5. Give us another transmission before you go, and thanks for bringing it by.
You betcha, Dennis. I'll probably be back in a little while. I'll be bound.
And thank you for the check-in here at the Old Tube Radio Network tonight. Stepping up in the air chair should be Mr. Falcon, Paul, who has... I don't know what section of the radio. He's got a radio museum. Paul has a radio museum at his QTH. So I'm not exactly sure what part of the museum he has walked in tonight. So let's see. What are you going to key up on next, Paul? Over.
Okay. I got to go with the Pierce Simpson Companion.
Okay, we have some Pierce Simpson fans listening in tonight, as there is a new Pierce Simpson Facebook site, which I think you are a part of. I just signed up not too long ago. Some really interesting articles and things over there. So let me see if I can find a shot of the companion. There is a companion and a companion 2. So I'm going to bring up what looks like a shot for the companion. There it is, and it says it is courtesy of Reggie. I don't know if I've got one from your collection or not, but go ahead and take a transmission.
Okay. Terry says it's maroon, and I say it's purple. What do you say?
I'm looking. See, the beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and then when you start doing things on the internet and putting stuff on your screen, depending on how your TV screen is adjusted, I learned that working in television. You adjust the color bars, and then it goes out, and it is what it is. So I would actually be leaning a little bit more towards the maroon side as well. It depends, because purple is it's like the blue-green thing, because you can have bluish purple, you can have reddish purple, and of course you're saying you can have purple. It's cool, whatever it is. Over.
Yeah, it's plastic too. All plastic outer shell of the thing. Very interesting radio. I'll tell you. It's no lights on the thing, except on the front. It's got a modulation light. Boy, it's bright. It's shining at me right now. Other than that, it's very plain. Got a front power speaker on the thing. It's normal 12 star, and it only has six channels, I think, on transmit. And of course, you got the same thing on six channels on receive. And it's got a VFO transmit. That's what it is. Okay, back to that again. Have to read on the thing. Very interesting radio. Nice radio. Pierce Simpson's good quality radios. I like them. Back to you.
Absolutely. For mid-century modern design, you really can't beat Pierce Simpson. I really think they had some great design people for just some classic looks to their radios. This one has a look of almost a tabletop AM, FM, Zenith-style radio with the plastic case and the big grill and the knobs the way they are. It looks very unradio-like. Not sure. I guess this was their, I want to say this was their entry level, because the next one was the Escort and the Guardian. So this was their entry-level radio, not 23 channels on the transmit side, of course, on the receive side. Didn't have an S-meter, but that was one way to keep the price down under $200. If you've got the Sam's Photo Fax, you'll find more about this Pierce Simpson Companion in CB number 4. And, of course, you can always find out about it and hear it when it stops by on the Old Tube Radio Network. So thanks for bringing it by tonight. Over.
It got real bad. No, I don't think it's you, Dennis. But anyway, yeah, the thing's interesting radio, I'll tell you. And with it being so plain and with that light flashing, it's really an unusual thing. Thanks for checking it in.
Thanks for bringing it by. That is why we are here on the Old Tube Radio Network, so that we can, like we were talking with Brian, give people a chance to drive their radios around the block when possible. The Old Tube Radio Network. We were looking for Radio 7.
Number 7.
25.
And 25. All right. Ed is stepping up in the air chair here at 9:30. And while he does it, I'm gonna take a chance to do the Jingle Singers. Radio number 8 will be Jerry, SWL 25, and the Jingle Singers will do their thing. And then we will be right back with your Old Tube Radio Network.
How do you do? Ladies and gentlemen, greetings to you. Wherever you are, your favorite slot on the dial by far is known to you as
OTR, the Old Tube Radio Network.
the station for you is
OTR.
Hopefully the station for you is OTR, the Old Tube Radio Network here in Central California. On Saturday evenings from 8 to 11 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, talking with the Tube Radios, and you will hear one coming up right now from Mr. Ed. Hello, Radio.
And hello, OTR. I have to bring another Browning, the Browning Golden Eagle Mark III SSB with the D104 gold-plated limited edition microphone.
Browning Laboratories to the rescue, and we do have some Browning fans listening in tonight, amongst others. Let me see if I can find the SSB Mark III picture. We have a really, really great shot from Cliff's collection. I don't know if the color of the radio matches yours, but the color of the microphonium does.
That it definitely does. Got lucky with the microphone and got it for $5 at a garage sale. So cannot complain. It was still in the box and not even put together.
Sounds good. For your golden tones on the Golden Radio. SWL 31 reporting that they have Skip on Channel 11 from Dallas, Texas. Good, strong signals rolling in to Tennessee. So the short hop is happening there. I wonder if we will get something similar tonight, or some double hops. So we will keep an ear open so that people can hear these great radios. Radio number 7, the Browning Golden Eagle Mark III. And this has the ping on this is just, I think, a little bit mellower than the R68 T68. But it sounds good.
And, of course, we can always make the ping just a little longer with a little bit of a switch.
It's funny how that works. That did not come as a factory item. I think they probably would have got in on the bad side of the FCC if they started dinking with something like that. They sort of had to plead innocence on the ping, because I know the FCC really didn't like that, but it wasn't something that they installed into the radio itself. So that's probably why they didn't install the switches, just to keep out of the ire of the FCC. However, yours is working quite nicely. Give us another transmit on radio number 7. I'll put up the S meter. So if you give yourself a radio check, you'll be able to see it. Over.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, that little switch was an addition that OBP put in there. Oh, my God. I think better than 30 years ago. Anyway, with that, we'll let you get to the next radio.
And next radio, I will get to. I've got my special effects lighting. I think that is what's causing the white balance to be so far off. There's without special effects. And there is the special effects. So hopefully we'll have some special effects on our next radio. Hello, Jerry. Radio number 8, I believe, is SWL 25. Over. Well, maybe while he is attending to business, we will go back to the Jingle Singers here on the Old Tube Radio Network.
How do you do? Ladies and gentlemen, greetings to you. Wherever you are, the friendliest nation
Radio Network.
The station for you is
OTR.
Christy, that's a good question, asking how many tubes the radio has. On a Browning, on a Mark III, it might have as many as 18, because you've got the receiver with tubes and the transmitter with tubes. And back long ago, when we had multiple net controllers that were more knowledgeable than I about how many tubes the radio had, I think we had a tube count at the end of the evening a couple of times. It was like, how many... We've got 13 radios or 15 radios, but in actuality, how many tubes did we have? And so theoretically, on a 13-tube evening, you could have well over 100 tubes if you were checking in. Well, not a lot of the early radios, and a lot of the early radios only had 7 tubes, but that's something to keep in mind. How many radios and how many tubes? OTR standing by. We're looking for radio number 8, which should be SWL25. Hello, Jerry. Okay. Well, hopefully it didn't blow up. OTR is standing by.
The Browning Mark III receiver has 12 tubes, and the transmitter has 9, 21 in total.
Wow, that's even more than I thought. I thought it might have had 18. How many does the receiver have?
12.
Holy cow, that's more than most of the transmitters have. All right, so I'm going to put a little note. Maybe, I think I've got the tube complements. I bet the R68, T68 is probably similar. It might have 1 or 2 less.
Yeah, just looked it up in the PhotoFax, volume 79.
Okay, I'll see if I can get a semi-accurate running total of the amount of tubes that actually check in tonight versus the radios. And OTR standing by, listening for radio number 8. And if you're out there, Jerry, go ahead and key up. And if we get any general radio telephone with the Q-Bird, I've got original lyrics to the Q-Bird song. I think our jingle singers or orchestra, I don't know, we might try and do that tonight, but I think to make it apropos, we really do need to hear what the song is about by a Q-Bird. Anyway, the Old Tube Radio Network looking for radio number 8.
Number 7.
And 7. 748, or is it 847? Go ahead, over.
Well, I see somebody on the YouTube side was wanting a green radio. So, big green radio. The Tram 23 TR27 Echo.
Good choice, because you can't get any bigger. Well, if Harvey were to check in his Cheyenne Heathkit, you might have bigger at that point. But for the TR27E, and if for a transceiver, this is pretty much it. Let me get into I'll put it even on a full screen ad. There we go. So that's a lot of green. There's even green in the S meter.
That there is, and a very large S meter it is, about 3.5 inches tall. Well, actually about 3 inches tall, about 3.5 inches wide. You got a 5x7 speaker on there, and an Electro Voice 638 microphone.
Giving it that classic quality sound. And as it goes with purple, is it purple? Is it mauve? Is it red purple? It can go with green as well. People might say, is it teal? Is it turquoise? Is it got more blue? This, at least on my monitor, this definitely has the look of green.
Yeah, actually, it is teal. I've got a 63 Chevy pickup, which is teal also, in the radio and the truck match.
Something to keep in mind. I neglected to ask 49er what color the Olds was. But perhaps, and he's got a lot of radios too, so perhaps he has a radio that will match the color when he gets the beast fired up. Now, in your teal-colored vehicle, have you ever had an 11-meter radio in there?
As a matter of fact, yes, I have. Was checking it in over. In fact, Cliff was doing the same thing. 135.
That's true. It is that kind of weather for mobile check-ins. Although with the things going on, you got to be careful with going out and about. But we have had a few mobile radios check in for 2020. If you've got DC capability, give it a thought. Here on the Old Tube Radio Network, the Tram TR-27E, big in 1963. If you were going to start out economy-wise with the Hallicrafters CB3A, when you got totally bitten by the CB bug later in 1963, and you managed to scrape up $300 or more, then you put the Hallicrafters CB3A out in the mobile, and then you brought home this particular bass, the Tram TR-27E. Sounds great, looks good, and a classic radio for the Old Tube Radio Network. Give us another transmission, and thanks for bringing it by over.
No problem. My pleasure. And as a matter of fact, the picture you have up there is the very radio which I am speaking on. So there's a good shot. Anyway, I'll sit back and take a listen for a while.
And as SWL23 says, from your collection, you can call that the teal without the squeal. And you are listening to the Old Tube Radio Network, heard on this frequency, this channel, on Saturday evenings, just about every Saturday evening throughout the year, where we talk about and look for the tube radios, the classic tube radios from late 1958 when the FCC banged the gavel and said, yes, there will be a Class D 11-meter Citizen band. And to 1977 or 78 when the manufacturers said, we've had to go to 40 channels and change things around, and we're losing our shirt, and we just can't sell the tube radios anymore. Actually, they probably could. They just don't want to produce them. Let's go to the Jingle Singers, and we will be right back with the Old Tube Radio Network.
What are the magic numbers?
27.085 megahertz, channel 11.
Are the magic letters?
OTR.
Right here in
Fresno, California.
Radio Magic.
Old Tube Radio.
For you.
Listening for radio number 9.
77.
Hey, 77 will work. After 2 sevens in a row, let's put the 2 sevens in the same box for radio 9 over.
Well, I don't know. I haven't fired this old girl up in quite a while. I know she's got some capacitor issues, but hell, we thought we'd give it a shot there. The old Cam 88. I'm looking here. The B&K, and it is a division of Dynascan.
Yes, it is. I always have trouble finding the picture for this because I think it's not listed under Cobra. It is listed under some other form. So I will see if I can find it, as we want to put the picture with the great audio emanating from that radio. So give us a transmission and we'll see if I can find it here.
Okay. Well, it's a stock D104. No amplification at all. And when you were talking earlier about you gotta fire them up and run them through their paces once in a while, I figured, boy, I better turn this old girl on. It's been a while, but I want to get in there and change a couple of capacitors, and I think I'm going to go back to the Behringer setup with the boom microphone and see how that does.
Well, the radio certainly has clear audio with however you're running it now. There is a pair of Cobras. Let me go to the full screen. I was trying to see if there's any difference between the two. The Cobra Cam 88, the S meter's on the right side. Modulation light a channel selector. I hope that's illuminated so you can see where you're at. And then the controls on the front. And the PACB, boy, that's that nice big rotary switch for PA, which I don't know. Nobody's ever fessed up to using their radios for the PA. And I like the fact that it has some headphones in the front. Oh, I see. We're showing two different styles. So this is good. One shows a mod light only, and the other has a mod light with the switch below it. So what class are you in?
This would be a later model with the mod light, and the switch is a Dynaboost. So I'll give you a count 1, 2, 3, and then Dynaboost off 4, 5, 6, and then Dynaboost back on 7, 8, 9.
Oh yeah, let's hear it for the Dynaboost. So I take it you're not amplifying the audio coming in too much. The Dynaboost also adds a little bit of low frequency fidelity as well. So being interested with the Behringer, I think that has a little compression in it. And like I said, this radio really has some good fidelity, so it would probably play well introducing any type of audio through the circuit. Cobra Cam 88, 23 channels. I don't have a date for this, but I want to say it's probably a little past the mid-1960s, since it's 23 channels and got the S meter, and probably at the time might have been their top-of-the-line radio. Over.
Yeah, from what I understand, this is 67 vintage, and I'm just running the stock D104 at the moment. But the next time you hear it, I'll have the Behringer set up, and the which one is that? The Electro Voice 633, I believe it is. We'll run that one on there and get things dialed in, and you can really appreciate the capabilities in the audio department this radio has.
Nice and smooth, nice and clear. As you mentioned, there's just a bit of an AC note in the background. You hear a little bit more of it when you kick in the Dynaboost, but your audio definitely sounds good with the Dynaboost. So we'll have it recorded. I see a little bit of forward movement on the S meter, so you're certainly not undermodulated in any form. And sounding good for radio number 9 from Cobra, B&K Cobra, the Cam 88. Thanks for bringing it by on the Old Tube Radio Network.
All righty, my pleasure, and boy, I appreciate everything you do, Dennis. And yeah, the next time you hear it, hopefully we'll have it all dialed in. I'm going to go ahead and replace all those caps and see if I can get that ripple out of there. Okay, all the best to everyone. Everybody stay healthy and stay safe until the next go-around.
On your Old Tube Radio Network, I wonder if Jerry, SWL25, he had checked in with the radio and then he was gone. So hopefully the radio is still has the smoke in the right parts.
60.
And SWL 60, if you've got a radio, you'll put us in the double digits here tonight.
Yeah, Dennis, we have a radio. Doggone it, I want to check in this Johnson Messenger 223. I call it my friendly radio because it's limited to everything.
We like to think of our tube radios as our friends, at least on Saturday evenings. So friends are always welcome here on the Old Tube Radio Network. Let me bring it up to a full screen, and you will see that this was the top-of-the-line radio for E.F. Johnson back in 1969 when they took a Messenger 2, and added all 23 channels, put it in a bigger case, made it bass only, and slapped on the S meter. That was good to make friends that way.
Yeah, I guess it was. Doug, we appreciate it. It's a good, solid radio, and it's been good to me. And I've done a little work, Dennis. With my new Johnson desk mic, I finally got a hold of one, but I got cheated on the Element. So we have one on there now, and we'd like to take this mic off and try the other one.
Okay, boy, your audio, don't take it off just yet. I'm going to switch over to... where is that? I'll switch over to the Orban loudness meter. The audio sounds great on whatever you got now. So if you don't get any better than that, you're good. So take another transmission, and we'll look on the Orban meter here for loudness.
Okay, this is a ceramic mic, a handheld ceramic mic. This is the one that I got with the radio, and I'm happy with it. But doggone it, we looked for the Johnson mic, the desk mic. We found it. We bought it. The only thing was I got robbed of the element. It didn't come with it. I thought I couldn't wire it. I was going to talk to Harvey about it, but I had it wired all the time. I had it right and no key down. So there was no key up on it, no audio. So I just happened to take the grill off the front and no speaker.
Yeah, I mean, who would consider a microphone as a complete thing without the element in it? It's like selling a car and there's no engine, without telling somebody that. So, all right, whatever you got now, it really sounds good. It's got good loudness to it. So go ahead and let's see. I know when you pull the microphone out, you're going to lose your receive for a little bit. So I'll chat a little bit here as you change microphoniums on the E.F. Johnson Messenger 223, their flagship from the late 1960s into the early 1970s. And at that time, they were also producing a lot of solid-state radios as well. So back to you with the possible new microphonium. And he's on a radio that has electronic switching. So I believe when you undo the microphonium, you cannot, the receiver, the speaker goes dead.
Well, I think we finally got it back on. Doggone, it took me a little while to hook it up. Sorry about that. But this is the Johnson desk mic, the original Johnson desk mic.
Okay, boy, this one has a totally different sound to it. Totally different sound. It doesn't have quite the loudness, although we'll take another transmission and we'll see where it goes. And it rolls off. This might be more of a DX microphone where, if the DX conditions are in, if you can get a little bit more audio out of it, because it doesn't have the full fidelity as the other one. But I bet it looks good, though. Back to you.
Well, I tell you what, it buttoned up okay, and we got the element to fit in it. Now, this is a Shure element from Shure mic, a handheld stock mic. And doggone it, it fit real nice in there. But I know that it's about, maybe about 40% of the modulation, it seems like to me, from the other one. So whichever one, I'd rather leave this one on because I love the originality.
Makes it look good, and that's what Ed does with his Tram TR27E. He can make that thing super loud and scream super on the Tram, but he's got the classic EV microphone on it. It has its own tone. It's got its own. That's what I like about AM. The personality. With sideband, you've got that limited bandwidth. You've got the 6 kilohertz bandwidth on AM, and you really get the personality and full fidelity of the operator's voice. So when they change microphones, and as you have done, on something like this that rolls off the bass a little bit, it's a whole different personality on that microphone. So you can kind of mix and match. If you feel like the desk mic, go for it. If you feel like a little bit more boomy, then you can change to the ceramic. And yes, you are about 3 points on the loudness meter lower, but it's not 100% modulated, but still sounds okay. Over.
Well, that's the main thing, Dennis. Doggone it, that's what we want. We want to kind of keep the originality. I know these radios weren't meant to go haywire when you keyed them up, but I love the originality, and I think we'll keep it on there. If you guys don't mind, this is the mic we'll be using.
Okay, that's perfect. And since it's new mic, and part of the thing we do on the Old Tube Radio Network is radio checks and people adjusting things. How far are you away from the desk mic right now?
We're about 8 inches, maybe about 8 or 10 inches.
Okay, and that's a good distance. Bring it up just to see how much, I think they call it SPL, but anyway, how much you can get away. Bring it up to like 3 inches. I just want to see if it changes the tone quality and what it does for the loudness as well.
Okay, Dennis, we're up a little closer now. Doggone it, this is just like talking on a stock mic, a handheld. But if it made a little difference, maybe that's the way it's got to be done.
I think you're okay. If you've got a good signal and you're just in, a chat mode, if it's comfortable to be the 8 inches, I think you can do that. You did bring up the loudness by getting closer, so just keep that in mind. If you're, someone's having trouble hearing or your signal to noise is not up, all you have to do, you don't have a range boost switch, but you've got the next best thing, and that's just move a few inches up in the microphone. I didn't hear any distortion. I wouldn't get any closer to that. I didn't hear any low frequency come up, but I didn't hear any distortion or flat topping come up through the radio, but it increases your volume if you need it.
Okay, Dennis. Well, doggone it, we appreciate it on this end, and I guess we wired it up okay. And as far as the radio, boy, I tell you what, in the dark here, boy, she's really lit up. She has an excellent meter lights. And I'm still a little confused with that squelch button because every time I turn it on, you have to turn it on through the squelch. And I take it a little too far and think the old radio's not going to work.
Yeah, well, you just have to be close enough to somebody with a strong signal. I've done that before with my squelch. In fact, it caught me on the air. I probably got a recording of it where my receive keeps dropping out because my noise level isn't high enough to kick over on the squelch. And then once I realized I had the squelch set, it was like, oh, yeah. So same thing with that one, although with that, you think it's the volume control. See, that's the difference. You think it's the volume control, so you keep cranking it up. It's like, how come I can't hear anything? Now, the interesting part would be, where is the volume control and all of that? So you've got it down. You're hearing me. I'm hearing you. The audio is good. You've got 2 microphoniums now. You've got the desk mic, which is the classic look for that. I was checking to see if I think I got a picture that shows, I'm going to pop up the one that shows the desk mic so that people can see. It's the radio with the mod light, but there's the microphone that he's got with that. So you can see why this is such a great look while you would go with that to keep the nostalgia where it should be for 1969, 1970, and 1972. The price right around $200. It was a little bit more if you bought the microphone with it. And I'm trying to check. Chrissy's keeping me honest here on how many tubes that has. And I don't have an official count, but I'm coming up with 11. That may be off by 1 or 2, but that's what I'll put down for our count tonight. Back to you for transmission. Thanks for bringing it by.
Thank you, Dennis. And doggone it. We'll keep it this way. Like I say, I'm more for the originality. Okay, Dennis, we'll let the old channel rock then, and sure appreciate it.
All right, you're the type of guy that will not put the 26-inch rims on the Lincoln Continental, on the 64 Lincoln Continental. You'll keep it the way it's supposed to be. OTR, the Old Tube Radio Network, real radio's glowing in the dark. Jingle singers are ready to do what they do best. If I can get their attention here, and we will be back in just a moment. Still a little time to check in your radios. Not quite time for counting and amounting yet.
Let's do some spelling.
OTR. 27.085 megahertz. Channel 11, Old Tube Radio. Old Tube Radio.
The Old Tube Radio Network. Mitch, I was thinking that there could be some impedance because of the roll-off. We're talking about you, Joe, and your microphone, the Shure Elements. On the impedance, when you get an impedance mismatch, sometimes it will affect the frequency of the microphone. I actually have an impedance switch on one of my mic preamps here. And when I roll it, below 150, it starts rolling off the high frequencies. So I think if you go the other way, you start rolling off, you get a very high impedance microphone. It starts rolling off the low frequency. So you could have a little bit of an impedance match going on. Maybe that element is more suited for a solid state radio, but that's something to consider. If you come across another element, I don't know how hard it is to change them in there, but if you come across another element, might be something to try to bring back a little bit of the low frequency, which would probably give you a little bit more audio as well. But going for the classic look, the way you've got it now, I think you're okay. We're also archived on the video and the audio playback if you want to hear what it sounds like. OTR standing by and looking for Radio 11 if we've got one. And unlike they had in Hendersonville in Tennessee tonight, I don't think we're going to get the short skip nighttime stuff before we sign off here. And it looks like we're not going to have a Q-Bird. I may save that. I've got the Q-Bird song, but the Jingle Singers and the choir have sort of been notified that when we get a Q-Bird, we're going to want to try that out. OTR standing by. And even I have more static tonight. Field day is going on for SWLs, tuned to just about any amateur radio frequency anywhere, and you will hear CQ Field Day, CQFD, in the digital modes as well, CW, doing the annual Field Day, a way to qualify, I guess, or practice the preparedness that amateur radio operators are known for, whether they're running off batteries or doing portable operations. Field Day is a way to do that. Also a way to get people on the air. It's a way to introduce people into the amateur radio hobby. A way to see the operation, not stuck in somebody's shack, but out where people can walk up and look at the antennas and the microphones and all of that. So we will see. Last calls for radio check-ins or any check-ins of that sort. We'll try some counting and amounting here on your old tube radio network.
You're tuned to
OTR. Channel 11.
Right here in
Fresno, California.
Stay with us.
Old Tube Radio.
And be modern.
All right, back down the S-meter noise a little bit.
Break OTR.
Couldn't find the foot switch. I'm here counting and amounting. Hello, Break OTR.
Oh, stick me in there. I fell asleep. And I woke up. That's a good thing. I'm glad I woke up. Not waking up is not a good thing. Number 20 on Golden Beagle R68T68 by Browning Laboratories. And we'll catch you next week.
Okay, we're counting tubes tonight. We're also counting radios as we do, and you've added yet another Trying to get the shot up here. Another radio, the R68 T60. Oh, by the way, you can help us out. Do you know how many tubes, total tubes that it has between transmitter and receiver?
On which one?
On the Browning Golden Beagle.
Oh, this one. I do, but where's it at? Oh. Okay, do a little counting. I'll be back in a second. It's about the fourth periodical down here in a stack. I'll be right back.
Okay, because we determined that the Mark III, I'll get it right here. We determined that the Mark III has 21, and I'm thinking that probably has a few less than 21 between the transmitter and the receiver. But I could be wrong. I am often wrong. Let me put it that way.
Okay, give me a sec. I'm turning pages here to get to the page with the tube complement. I'm getting there. I got to unkey.
Yeah, don't stick your finger in there and count them.
Okay. I have to put my glasses on. The transmitter has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I should have known that. Yeah, the transmitter on the Golden Beagle is a small one. It's the small puppy. Anyway, 2, 4, 5. And on the receiver, it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11 with the OB2 tube. So 11 in the receiver and the All-American, well, kind of, 5 in the transmitter.
11 and 5. All right, 16 is what I get on that, and that makes sense. I was thinking I was amazed when there was 21, but then I forgot you've got the sideband and all that stuck into the Mark III. So, all right, that adds to our total here.
Wasn't there a question about a Hallicrafter CB3A?
What is the question? What is the question about a CB3A? You know, there might have been. That was probably minutes ago. Do you expect me to remember these things?
You're the all-seeing, all-knowing one. I think it had to do with, he had an extra box with some tubes in it on the side of the radio. I just fell asleep either right about then. Anyway, I would want to know how many tubes he saw in it or on it, depending on if they were enclosed.
Yeah, that was Jerry who mysteriously dropped away after he said he was going to check in a radio. And it's a CB3A, and I think he says they're on the outside, which I don't know if they're sitting in a box or something. It sounds kind of semi-dangerous. And so, yeah, we're going to see if we could get the style or the numbers of the tubes to see if, you know, that was typically a receive tube or audio tube or whatever. Maybe we could kind of guess what that extra little thing is doing.
Okay. Some radios had, now he said tubes, he didn't say metal tubes. There's a 1 or 2 tube, depending on which one he had, Nuvista preamp that you could attach to the radio in the receive section. 1 or 2 tubes. I have, I think, 1 or 2 each of those somewhere around. I pulled one out of a buddy base, which I don't know why the guy put it in the buddy base, buddy bass receiver is single conversion. And when you add this thing to it, even the one-tube version, it just overdrives the thing so much, it's ridiculous. So I pulled it out, and then the buddy receives the way it was supposed to. Anyway, then some radios had what is called a noise stop. It's a one-tube deal you wired in, and it had a gain type control, which was kind of a noise limiter type thing, I guess. And I think it had one 12-volt tube. I think it was a 12 AT7 or AU7, something like that, I believe. And I've had that hooked up to one or two radios that I've had in the past, and I think they never really worked well, so I pulled them out. In fact, I've got one sitting right here that I'm looking at right now.
Yeah, we're looking at one right now. I pulled up a RCA Nuvistor 7895, and it's a little small metal thing, although they were showing there were some glass Nuvistor tubes. So, like the 7895, is that a typical thing you might find there?
Okay, a 7895 is similar to a 6DS4 or 6CW4. Now, those two tubes, the CW4 and DS4, have what amplification factor that they list in the tube books of around 80-something, 84, something like that. And that's what was used in the Brownings. The 7580-something, whatever, the tube you mentioned is same pinout, but the gain is less, around 60-something. You know, they work, and in most cases, you really can't tell much of a difference if you use that tube. I have the DS4s and 6CW4s in the Brownings, but I also have some of the 75, 80, whatever that number was you said. I've got a few of those around just in case.
Okay, we're seeing now a 6CW4, 7587, and a 6DZ something. That's the glass one. So that is talking about, boy, we could spend easily a half an hour about the innovation at the end of the valve era, talking about Nuvistor tubes in the late 1950s. Probably the last major innovation in receiving tube technology, coming in as it did towards the end of the era of thermionic device domination. You can tell I'm ready to catch you. The Nuvistor is often regarded as a last desperate effort by valve. You can tell this is probably not the U.S. by valve manufacturers to stem the flow of transistorization, which was becoming a torrent by this time. So there you go. It was the last ditch effort.
Roger. Next to my noise stop is sitting here a Model 62 signal suppressor by Bauer Enterprises with a sensitivity and a level control for a signal suppressor. I'm hoping, I've never wired it in because I don't have a schematic for it. I'm going to try and find out if I can get a schematic on it, a diagram so I can wire it. But I assume here, looking at the wiring, should be simple enough. Well, no, it's got too many wires. It's probably got an innie and an outie and a ground. And yeah, there's the ground. Probably an innie and an outie and the high voltage and the heater voltage wires. Yeah, I could probably figure this out.
You know, I have confidence. I have confidence that indeed you can. Well, thanks for the New Visters. This goes on. I take it back. We could probably spend the whole evening talking about New Visters and used in the space program and sound buoys and military service, amateur radio service, televisions. The good old New Visters trying to save the valve manufacturers, and they do work. They do what they're supposed to do, and all of us are always glad when we grab one of those 11-meter radios that has the New Vistor in there somewhere. Okay, I know you want to get out of the hot radio shack. So do I. It's actually the temperature has actually gone up a degree or two since I've been chatting and turning on the tube, but that's okay. The New Vistors are small, so they don't make much heat, I bet.
Yeah, I kind of like the New Vistors, but I don't know. Anyway, there's another one. It's an 8628 New Vistor. I almost had a source for one. The guy said he had them. And then I waited, and contacted him again. It might be 10, 15 years ago. And he said, no, he doesn't really have them. The 8628 New Vistor can plug in with the 6CW4, 6DS4, or that 7587, whatever that number was. And its amplification factor is 100. So I thought, I need a couple of those babies in my Brownie. I could never find them. But anyway, that tube in my signal suppressor is a 12AZ7. Similar to the 12AUAX and AT7 family type tubes. Little different pinout, but kind of does similar things. Anyway, that's in the signal suppressor. So I'm going to try and figure out what that thing really was, or is, because I've got one and like to see if it ever works. Okay, I'll turn it back to you. Catch you next week.
All right, very good. Just reading here. The 6CW4 seems like it is the standard, especially for receivers. The 6CW4 design. I was looking for that other one you mentioned. There's a 6DS4, 6CW, and I haven't come across in this giant article even being mentioned. So I'm thinking that it is probably a little bit on the rare side, or maybe more because of the gain, more impractical for usage or something. All right, you're listening to the Old Tube Radio Network. Last calls for check-ins.
Got my info on my New Vistor tubes mixed up. The 7586 only amplifies amplification factor 25, and the CW4, DS4, those do amplification factor of 68, while the 8628 does 100. Yeah, so I was off a little bit. The brain goes when you get a little older there. But anyway, the 6CW4 DS4 were the standard used.
camera. It sounds like you don't want to put the 100 amplification into your Super Gen receiver then.
Oh, no. No. It would just overdrive that thing way too much. The 100 factor tube with a Browning with an RF gain control, you might be able to slice that.
Yeah, I wonder what that would do to your S-meter readings, though.
Well, on the Mark III, the meters were always a little squirrely. There's a diode in there that tends to kind of go bad. And when that diode gets weak, you get one of the most laid-back meters ever. It's just one of these little flippy, flammy meters that just floats all over the place. In fact, my Golden Eagle here, I have to replace the diode in it because it kind of acts that way sometimes. On my Mark III, definitely I have to replace it. And on the Mark IV, that one works just fine. But the 3 and this one here is kind of squirrely. Anyway, I'll let you go.
All right, good to know. I'll talk to you about that because the one behind me has got the same weird issue. You have to play with the RF gain control, and you think, okay, this station should be 40 over, so you set it so they're 40 over, and then it just, everybody else is weird, and you get negative readings on other things, and you know how people get when they say, what am I hitting you with? And you say, you're at S1. They could come and beat you up, just kind of that kind of stuff. They don't understand. It's all relative. The Old Tube Radio Network. I don't know the Jingle Singers did this, but they are ready. They are ready to do it now, even if they've done it before. OTR is listening.
You're tuned to
OTR. Channel 11.
right here in
Fresno, California.
Stay with us
Old Tube Radio.
and be modern.
I hate it when I'm wrong. The 8628 amplification factor is 127.
Well, that's even more.
Yeah. There's another new Vistor that doesn't plug in, listed after that does 100, but the 8628 plugs right in, same in out and everything, voltage, all that, and it just does 127. So that's like basically almost, a little less than double. So I would just love to have those, but I can't find them. Okay, turn it back to you. I'm going to shut up then. Bye.
Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and conclude the item of interest here. Chris is saying, I'm checking, Chris, I'm checking to see if I have any numbers out of the limited amount that we have here. We're in the 8-week of our 8-week roster, and then usually when I make up the new list next week, I will, what we call, switch some of the numbers for people that have taken numbers but haven't checked in, and that usually opens up the numbers for those who want them to come in and check. And I'm just seeing if I have something on the list now before that, and then he'll be on for next week. So we're checking here. Actually, I do. You know what? I do. And let me mark it so I will remember to put that on. So we are looking for... Yeah, let's see. 30 to 130, huh? I don't have a one. Some of the numbers I don't have because we started eliminating things. Oh my gosh. You know, this never happens. It never happens, but I can actually put him under 30. Never happens that we have something open that somebody wants. How many times do I say it? I've been doing this 35 years and it never happens, but it's happened now. So that would be, you mentioned the name, Dwayne. All right. Because we got an SWO27 Dwayne and SWL30 Dwayne. That'll be good. And I will do that. So that'll be under SWL30. It'll be, I'll get it into the list. I don't know where he is at, but that's okay. I'll find out and add it on there, what state he's in or anything like that. So Dwayne is SWL30, and we'll put an X. We will put an X in the square and add one to the count here.
Dennis?
This is the basic Dennis, over.
I heard you talking about vanity calls. KB6 OTR might be available.
I was just looking at some the other day. There is one that I should have. It's the one I should have had. And since vanity calls, you can get anything. And it's a 0 calls, which would be kind of weird because it's a 6 thing. But you don't have to be portable, anything anymore. But I'm so used to my call, even though when I first started, if this call was available, I would have just got it immediately, even though back 35 years ago, you couldn't. I don't think you could get a vanity call that wasn't in your call area. Now they don't care, so. Yeah, greasy fried donuts is probably the way it's going to be. But this other one, this other one would probably make a really, really good club call, too.
Okay, I know you're going to tell me. I looked up K6 OTR, and it's the Redwood City, California Amateur Radio Club, I think, something like that. I looked up 2 of them. Yes, I went, okay. But I like mine. I can say Old Tube Radio.
Okay, I'll give you the call. I'll give it to you phonetically, and the only way it's going to make sense to you is you're going to have to take a pen or a pencil and write it down on a piece of paper, and then it will all make sense to you. And then we'll sign off here. So the call is, and I probably shouldn't say it because somebody say, oh, I'll take it, but that's okay. I wouldn't get it. I would get it, but I wouldn't get it. It's Kilowatt Bravo 0 Zulu Oscar. And I think there's a Whiskey Bravo 0 Zulu Oscar as well. The Alpha Bravo 0 Zulu Oscar is taken, and when you write that one down, you think, oh, that is super cool, and it is a radio club of a suspicious name. So, people are thinking alike here.
You gotta get it. You absolutely gotta get that.
But then everybody's going to think you're in Colorado or something. So I thought, well, that would work for a club. But to do a club properly, you got to have officers and do things. So I don't know. But either of those on the K and W are around the A, and I knew that the A ain't going to come happening anytime soon. When you do a QRZ search for that. All right, I'm going to be counting and amounting and getting out of here to clear the frequency.
It could be 33's call.
Yeah, from my other personality.
Ladies and gentlemen, time now for the current OTR totals.
The current and final totals here from the Old Tube Radio Network, and they are, someone is calling me on the intercom. They put an intercom in now with all that fancy stuff they're putting in the green room at the SWLs, and they're saying, okay, they've got some music, okay, and they've got the lyrics for the Q-Bird thing. So that will be ready to go when we get a Q-Bird check-in. Probably have to pay royalties to Mitch if we do that on the air. And who wrote it? Pete Seeger. for the bass thing. All right, we'll talk about that later. But he's saying, what is he talking about? On tonight, your Old Tube Radio Network, we had a total of 64 SWLs. Not too bad. 11 on page 1, 15 on page 2, 18 on page 3, and 19 on page 4. A total of 64. I think I've accounted right. And we added the new one, SWL 30. Dwayne, from Parts Unknown. Find out where he's at. We'd ever hear him on Skip if he's got some tube radios of his own. It doesn't make any difference. We're glad to have him along. SWL 30. Put that down in the home game. We will have a new 8-week roster next week, and we'll be choosing a new 00 from those that had perfect attendance for the last 8 weeks. Mr. 44 has done a good job, and we'll be in the running for that. On the radio side, radios and tubes. We're counting tubes tonight. Thanks, Chrissy. It was something we did a long, long time ago. And I'm going to say I'm going to give myself a 90% accuracy here because there was a couple of the radios that I didn't have an exact count on the tubes. And as you've seen, that some people were nice enough to actually count the tubes for us. So we had 122 tubes. If you count the tubes individually tonight, 122 tubes, which comes out to 11 radios. So that's not bad. It's over 10 tubes. That's over 10 tubes of radio. And I will see if I can give the tube count with the radios as we go along tonight. The most heard manufacturer. Somebody on the list said they thought it was going to be a Browning night. And at that time, the Brownings were not in first place, but they ended up being at first place, or the most heard manufacturer of the evening. So the Brownings, but not by much. The Brownings at 3, just enough to put them in the top slot. Started off with the Browning. Maybe that's what clued people off. The R68, T68 from SWL 7. Then Paul came by with the General Radio Telephone MC2, or the Master Control from 1959, one of their first introductions into Class D radio. The Helicopters CB3A, plus a few tubes. You know, that was 7 tubes, but I never counted. We actually had more tubes than 122, but I never got the count on the tubes that were on the side of his radio. So I only counted the tubes that we knew for sure that were in that radio, which was 7. So we actually have a few more, and we count those. That was Jerry. I hope everything's okay out there. He checked in, and then we never heard back from him. Radio number 4 tonight, Joe on the Robin T123B. That's an 11-tube radio, I believe. Radio 5 with 9 tubes, the General Radio Telephone Super MC11A from Chris. Then the Pierce Simpson Companion, which I believe has 7 tubes. That was Paul on the pretty cool-looking Companion. Find out more about Pierce Simpson on the Pierce Simpson Radio Facebook page, hosted by JT, I believe. Radio number 7, Mr. Ed on the Browning Golden Eagle Mark III SSB, which with 21 tubes between the transmitter and the receiver, because it's got sideband and other things in there. Radio 8, I think it was a 10-tube Tram TR27E from Ed. Radio number 9, 1017 in the Cobra Cam 88, which I believe shows up with 11 tubes. And Joe on the E.F. Johnson Messenger 223, which I think it also shows up with 11 tubes. Radio 10, and then Radio 11 Harvey on the R68 T68 with 5 and 11? 16 tubes total. So that's a good thing. If you're running something called the Old Tube Radio Network, it's nice to get at least 100 tubes on your list before you sign out for the evening. Thanks to all those who took time out of their Saturday evenings to participate. Thanks to all of you who are staying up really, really late, whether you are at oldtuberadio.net, over at the Facebook page, or perhaps live and direct at 27085, where we did not hear a speck of Skip tonight. So probably after I sign off, the 10-meter beacons will show up and be in full force. Wearing the summertime net control shirt. It fits quite nicely, and it's quite comfortable, but we're looking for a pocket somewhere to put in the OTR pocket protector. Good night, everybody. Sorry about the wacky video tonight, but it's not about video. It's about the radios and stuff like that. So we won't worry too much about The Green Machine, the Green Video. Good night, everybody. Thanks to SearchLawrence.com from the Nixie Tubes, and we will catch you next week on your Old Tube Radio Network.
Thank you, Dennis. Thank you for doing the net.
And thank you, Dennis. And, of course, Bozo Control. Oh, and the Tram 27 Echo has 12 tubes.
What did I say? I said 10. See, I my 90% accuracy is going down the tubes here. So that makes it at 124 tubes. And I'm going to add at least 2 for the Hallicrafter. So that puts us at 126. The more is better. When it comes to tubes, more is better.
Good night. Take care.
Oh, Chrissy, that's RFI. All right. He's up on the list. So I'll scroll up and get there. All right. Another 7 land on the list. And we were talking about the vanity calls. Yeah, a lot of the, when we first started this, there was only one licensed ham radio operator in the whole group in 1985. Now there are many, many. So, yeah, they're doing 11 meters and others as well. And there are quite a few of the operators that have vanity calls, whether they're, cool like Dwayne's got with the RFI, or like Harvey's got with the OTR. Yeah, Harvey's got an OTR call, believe it or not. That shows you some dedication. There's a KEG, and some people have their initials. Others just have older calls, the W6, K6, things like that. So cool stuff. Everyone is welcome, whether you're tubed, radioed, or non-radioed, whatever. It's a good time will be had by all on the Old Tube Radio Network. Good night from OTR. And I was going to try and read some comments. My comments aren't refreshing onto the page. All right, there they go. All right, no comments, I see. All right, I'm out of here. Okay, I think I got it together here. Good night, everybody, from the Old Tube Radio Network.